What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And of course, we're back again with another video reviewing the Liverpool versus Manchester United game that played about an hour ago. Of course, it's a Northwest derby, a fierce rivalry. This is always a blockbuster fixture. But let's jump straight into the video. Before we get on to Liverpool, let's have a look at Manchester United and how they've performed in this matchup. I think they've been fantastic. I think they've managed the game very well. At one point, I thought when Liverpool equalized, I thought that is Manchester United going to let this game slip? But they really showed their muscle and managed to cling back that lead through a goal by Harry Maguire. Unexpected from him. We know that Harry Maguire hasn't been really been on the best side of the media. He's always been getting stick for his performances, but nevertheless, a winning goal, that's a big confidence booster for Harry Maguire. Then again, Ruben Amorim's first back-to-back match win, 2 games in a row that is now won in the league. That's actually, I don't want to say it's impressive, but that's actually kind of what we should be expecting from this Manchester United team. It's a bit strange that it took so long for Ruben Amorim and Manchester United to get back-to-back wins in the Premier League. That just shows how inconsistent they are. Of course, Cunha was back in the side, linking up with Brian Mbeumo. I think that them two, they were fantastic signings for Manchester United. I really like Brian Mbeumo as a player. He really drives and carries the ball in the midfield. Very direct player. Then Cunha also a direct player. I like what he brings to this Manchester United team as well. I think they're just a few more pieces away, of completing the team. Yes, there's some questions about certain positions in this Manchester United team that they can strengthen or improve on. But I guess these things take time, and of course, players need time to work together and to figure out their style of play under Ruben Amorim. But fantastic win for Manchester United. I know this is a big booster, confidence booster for Manchester United and the players as well. I think that Manchester United, they have some decent fixtures coming up. So yeah, it really looks good for Manchester United. I just hope that they can really keep it up. And I really hope that they've turned the corner. It's always nice if there's more than 1, 2, or 3 competitors in this league. You know that the Premier League is a very competitive league. I know that people are speaking about the top 3, which is, of course, Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Chelsea also have their say here and there. Manchester United coming to the party is also always a good thing. Then you've got this mid-team player, mid-teams like Brentford, Villa, Tottenham also here and there, about Crystal Palace as well. So there's a lot of teams that can be dangerous on their day, but nevertheless, more about the Liverpool versus Manchester United game. Again, fantastic win for Manchester United. I really like what I've seen in this game. They really showed their muscle, and they've really showed a fight in this matchup against Liverpool. Playing away at Anfield is never an easy game. That atmosphere at Anfield can become a little bit hostile. But again, fantastic win for Manchester United. Then, of course, Liverpool, 4 games in a row in all competitions, of course, that they've lost now. Not really a good thing for Liverpool. I know that if there's one team that can really turn it around, is, of course, Liverpool. They can really turn it around, but luck is not on their side at the moment. Things are not looking too good. I think that Arne Slot has some big problems in this Liverpool team. Before we go on to the striking positions, we know what the defensive positions are. Of course, Alisson is their number 1 goalkeeper, but unfortunately, he is injured at the moment. Van Dijk is always the go-to guy in that back line. Konate hasn't been too good recently. I think that him playing alongside Van Dijk really helps him in a way. Then, of course, we know what the situations is with the left back and the right back positions as well. Frimpong is a great player, but He just brings something different, but his defensive capabilities are not really that good. The same with Kirk. Yes, he has some defensive strengths, but there's still something lacking in that um, defensive or left back position for Liverpool. Kirk is being that selected player as well. Of course, midfield, that midfield, I don't know. What do you think is the problem, or how can Arne Slot figure out a way to fix out that midfield player? Because if you look at it, he's got McAllister, Soboslai, Gravenberg, Wirtz. Who else in that midfield player? I think there's one more player, Gakpo, as well, in that midfield, or does Gakpo play on the wings? I'm not too sure. I think he played on the right wing, in fact. But nevertheless, um, I think there's always been this questions about Wirtz. Does he fit into this Liverpool team? And I think that Arne Slot's biggest challenge is figuring a way how he's going to integrate all these players into this Liverpool system. We now starting to see, or I don't know, I guess now's the time for Arne Slot to show us, or to show what his capabilities are, because I mean he's got all the tools at his disposal right now. So this is a fantastic opportunity for Arne Slot to show what his capabilities are. Like I said in my previous video, he had a free run last season. I don't think that they were really gunning for the league, to win the league, in fact, because they never made any signings. So they just showed their intentions. Klopp left. They were kind of like playing it safe. And things just fell into place for Liverpool. He brought that calmness. Yes, he brought some structure into this Liverpool team when he came, which was good. But now is really his time to show what he's getting paid for, if I can put it that way. But yeah, this midfield positioning, for me personally, if I had it my way, and of course he's got Chiesa there. I forgot to mention Chiesa. I mean, Chiesa, they brought in Chiesa, obviously, I think when Klopp came in, or I think it was when Klopp left, in fact. And Chiesa never actually started a game in the league. I don't remember a game where Chiesa started. Of course, he's a midfield. In my opinion, I think that he should keep Szoboszlai, he should keep Chiesa, or start Chiesa at least, and Wirtz. Wirtz can play that number 10 role just behind the strikers. Then Szoboszlai, the number 8, as well as Chiesa, also a number 8. He can play two number 8s. Don't necessarily have to be a defensive player. Or unless he wants to play a defensive player, then I think he needs to switch up the formation and maybe turn it into a 4-4-2 or 4-1-4-1 formation, in my opinion. But if he's still going to play the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-3-3 position, I think that he needs to play those two number 8s, being Szoboszlai, giving Chiesa some starts. We know that Chiesa, he is a fantastic player when he came from Juventus, so we don't actually know what Chiesa's capabilities are. We know that he's been coming off the bench and he's been, really making the difference for Liverpool in those last minutes. But yeah, I think that should be the formation. Szoboszlai, Wirtz, and Chiesa for that midfield, and then see how it will figure out. But what do you think is the problem at this point in time at Liverpool for this, especially in this midfield team? So yeah, a lot of big questions, and I've been saying this for some time now. I don't think that Wirtz is okay. I don't want to say he doesn't fit into the team. It's going to take him some time. If Slot doesn't figure it out sooner, his morale might start dropping, and we might see a drop in performance. The players go in and out of form. So I don't think at this point in time he really fits into this Liverpool team. I don't know, maybe he should be dropped, but I still think that he should play him rather in a more advanced role, just behind the strikers and playing their two number 8 roles. Then, of course, the other big question is the striking position. Of course, they paid about 120 million for Isak. They're never going to bench the most expensive player. They're going to pay him regardless. But right now, in this point in time, I don't think that he is the best option for Liverpool right now. I think that when Ekiteke was playing before he got injured, Liverpool looked like a much better team. Of course, like I say, that price tag that they paid for Isak, of course, they're not going to bench Isak. So, yeah, that striking position, they really need to figure out what needs to change in that striking position. But I still think that they rather should play Ekateki in that position. I think that it brings something more or something different to this Liverpool team. Is a bit more direct. You can see Isak is really struggling in this team. Yes, I know he didn't have a full preseason and so on and so forth, but how long are we going to say that for? We're already 8 games into the season. Yes, I know he missed a couple of games in the beginning of the season, but I mean, he's been training with the team for about more than a month now. And a football player is a football player. If you can play football, you can play with any other football players. I think it's just a matter of him adapting to the style of play and figuring out his I don't know his position in the team. But yeah, let me know what you think about Liverpool's performance. I don't think it looks too good. Again, their fixtures don't look too kind on them. I know that they've got a couple of big fixtures. Of course, it's Champions League week. They travel away to Eintracht Frankfurt. Liverpool away is not really they're not really strong away. We've seen, according to recent results, they've lost both their away games in all competitions. Then they play away to Brentford. Brentford is also not an easy team or walkover team. That's going to be a challenge for them. Then I think they've got Crystal Palace at home in the EFL Cup, in the Carabao Cup. We know that Crystal Palace beat Liverpool earlier on in the season, I think just before international break. So Crystal Palace is always a threat for Liverpool. Then they play, I think, Real Madrid. No, Aston Villa, in fact, at home. Or is it Aston Villa away? Either home or away. But also Aston Villa under Unai Emery is never an easy fixture. We've seen what Aston Villa done today against Tottenham, beating Tottenham 2-1 and away, in fact. So, yeah, fixtures are not really on Liverpool's side. Then, of course, they go again to Real Madrid at home. Real Madrid, even if you're playing at home, Real Madrid is never an easy team. So, yeah, their fixtures are really, really not too good. They've got Manchester City away just before the international break. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the game. Let me know what you think of Liverpool's performance. How long will Liverpool be on this losing streak? Like I've said, as much as winning can become a habit, losing can also become a habit. There's a rot in this Liverpool team that they need to stop. The players are frustrated. Morale is not really that good. Also, coming back from international break. So yeah, Slot has a lot of things to think about, and the games are coming thick and fast. So he really needs to figure it out as soon as possible. I think there's just about 2 or 3 days off. Then it's again Champions League fixtures. Then again another day or two off. Then it's again league. So yeah, the games are coming now thick and fast. So Slot won't have enough time. So he really needs to figure it out for Liverpool. Again, fantastic win for Manchester United. I really hope that they turn the corner now with this result that they've beaten Liverpool. I really thought that they were going to let this game slip, but nevertheless, fantastic result for Manchester United. What does it mean for the league table at the moment? Of course, Arsenal still sit top of the league, leading by 3 points. I think Manchester City second. If I can just quickly have a look at the table. Yeah, Arsenal 19 points, Manchester City 16 points, 3 points behind Arsenal. Bournemouth sitting third, 15 points. Liverpool also 15 points. Chelsea 4 points behind. Of course, Tottenham also 14 points. Sunderland 14 points. Crystal Palace United 13 points. So the point gaps is not really that big. Look at Manchester United, they're sitting ninth on the table, but they 6 points behind Arsenal. We know how quick teams can drop points. 2 wins for Manchester United, 2 losses for Arsenal. Manchester United is right up there in that top four. So, yeah, of course, it's still early stages in the Premier League. There's a lot of games to play. There's still 30 games to go. There's still quite a lot of fixtures in the Champions League as well. There's cup games, FA Cup, Carabao Cup games. So there's still a lot of games. I think over there could be over 45 fixtures left for the season, plus more than 45 in fact. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this league table changes by December. My questions is still the same. Do you think that Amran will be sacked by December? I know what the owners came out and said. Ineos, they said that they're going to stick with Amaran. I'm not too sure about that. I really hope that they do, but I'm not too sure about that. Do you think that Amaran will be sacked by December? Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. So yeah, there's still a lot of games to go, still early in the seasons, but I think we shouldn't be thinking, ah, it's still early in the season. We've got a lot of time. Teams are fighting for points right now, so we shouldn't take that lightly. I think these teams should really, figure out ways how they can, get as much points as they can, because we know when it gets to the more the end of the season, teams will be scrambling and fighting for points, trying to meet European qualifications, whether it is Europa League or Champions League or even fighting for relegation. So the more points you can get earlier on in the season, it really alleviates that pressure on you come the end of the season. But yeah, let me know what you think about Liverpool's performance. I will be reviewing the entire Premier League fixtures over this weekend. I'll drop a video later in this week. Of course, we still have one more fixture that will be going down tomorrow, Monday Night Football. I think maybe we should do a live video on that matchup. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Should we do a live reaction? But yeah, thank you so much for watching video. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace out.